To dress for success. You gotta make a statement with what you wear. Anarchy needs to catch up a little bit, but it's time to go into picks and bans for game number 1 of the first match of the first day of Champion Summer here on OGN. And we'll see what the bans will be once the players hop into the lobby. For now, it's just an electric symbol.
You know, Anarchy had some very interesting draft phases during the qualifiers, and there's that Thresh ban. Anarchy was actually first picking Thresh on blue side with a huge priority on that champion. So that's just going to be taken away by NaJin mFire right now. They know that they have this kind of strange priority. Anarchy would also always ban Thresh on the red side. This is a champion that they really want to get control over, so we'll test the depth of Snowflower's champion pool just a little bit.
Okay, well, there's a Cassiopeia ban against NaJin right now. You know, obviously a mid lane champion, but you never know. Once in a while, you see somebody playing the top lane too. Wow,
we have some funky new champ select music this season.
Man. Listen to that.
I've become so used to the old champ select music that this is kind of throwing me off a little bit.
Wub wub. I want to dance. Just gonna get up and dance. There's a Callista ban against Anarchy. It's Anarchy in the pick and ban music too. Nice chairs for the players actually this season. I want one of those.
Would you cast in that chair, Doa?
I would love to cast in that chair, Monty. I would absolutely trade my chair for that chair right now. There's a Lulu ban against NaJin now.
Wow, we're back to the old music now. That was a very interesting interlude.
Yeah, just kind of a break there for a moment.
All right, so Zedban coming in as well. That is one of Mickey's most played champions in solo queue and something that he's been renowned for. Again, both of these guys really like to play these assassins, but TF, Ahri, LeBlanc, a lot of these champions that these two players share are still up. They'll almost certainly pick LeBlanc first here.
I would think so,
I would imagine that was a highly contested pick over the course of the qualifiers. Frequently first picked on blue side.
Yeah, Gung, of course, historically no slouch in the Zed department either, so not willing to trade that one, but yeah, you'd have to imagine that this LeBlanc is going to get locked in. Should be a pretty high priority. I hope we get to see some new Zillion at some point. I do like the zoning that you can maybe do with the bombs, but no, I think you really got to go with that LeBlanc.
Yeah, it's such a safe pick overall.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to be on blue side and you're not going to have the luxury of counter picking from the red side anyway. Might as well just go for the LeBlanc and take it away. So watch Will lock in the Gragas and the Maokai.
Interestingly enough, here we actually did see at MSI how you handle a really good LeBlanc. So we'll see if NaJin maybe wants to take a page out of...
We actually did see a lot of mid Morganas, including some matchups against Azir actually in the qualifiers. So
yeah,
bit interesting right there. But notice the champions they did select. Gragas and Maokai, both of whom have % damage reduction. So that's already going to be extremely hard to assassinate for this LeBlanc. And they have a chance to go for Alistair here as well. They could go Alistair Urgot and really make Mickey's life a living hell. Could also go for the Morgana.
Yeah, or even a Sivir pick would be pretty decent as well, too. But there's a Morgana and the Alistar. Maybe switching over to the Kassadin. What do you think about that? Kassadin. They're going to lock it in?
All right. I mean, Kassadin, you do have a chance to trade with that magic shield, so...
Yep. Oh, we're back to the funky music. All right.
This music's freaking me out. It's throwing me off my game, Doa.
It's too distracting. Monty needs absolute silence and also normal music in Champ Select to do his job.
Absolute silence and normal music. I think that's the definition of absolute silence
right
there.
It's so hard to please you. It's bad enough that we have to get that bowl of green M&Ms every single cast for you. Well, I'd love to see some Bard. The Bard play we saw at MSI was not terribly inspiring, but maybe Snowflower can show us something different, or not.
Maybe they'll show us the top lane Yasuo instead.
Maybe they'll show us the support Yasuo.
I think this is a shout out to CV Max right here.
Yeah.
The Yasuo hover. So will be Lucian that is locked in, and Janna taken away. So trying to eliminate some of that dive potential from the Kassadin and the Maokai. So good disengage right here. And so Anarchy will be drafting a pretty well-rounded composition.
Yeah, why not? So what do you think about NaJin? Do you go with the Urgot? Do you go with the Sivir here?
I just take Sivir.
I think one of those.
Sivir or Urgot is, yeah, I think definitely where you go. But
yeah.
OQ might have a little bit harder time carrying out of lane on, especially Urgot. early up against. And he's
Whoa.
good. Okay, that is not expected.
All right. Well, it's a new season. We're going to see some new stuff. And OQ locks in Vayne. He's like, no, I'm just going to carry. So with the question is, how are the tumbles going to go for OQ? This could be a real big setup for OQ moments.
I mean, I really wouldn't want to be in a Janna Lucian lane if I'm Vayne Alistar. They may try and play it back and just have Alistar level heal first and try and play underneath the turret. But this is a very low wave clear composition coming out of NaJin. So
you have to lane swap with this one too?
I would assume they are going to lane swap, but you never know. It's OQ. He has a bit of an ego.
He does. Ego.
So
OQ.
He may try and lane this out anyway.
I think this is OQ just saying he can style on Anarchy. He's like, welcome to champions.
I have a feeling you're right. But we'll see how it goes. Anyway, NaJin, very low wave clear with this composition. They will have some issues if Vayne and Kassadin do get pushed in early. So I definitely think NaJin's best move is going to be to lane swap and have Pure try and make some plays with the Alistar on the map, try and set up some ganks early on here and help Goong get ahead.
All right, well, we'll see who takes it. Anarchy versus NaJin, our first game of the new season. It's time to get in the game.
The Faker hallway.
The Hall of Faker. Anarchy versus NaJin. Welcome to Summoner's Rift, guys, as we begin Champion Summer. Here on OGN with Doan Monte Cristo. Happy to be back. Casting some League again after a short break. It was fun. Went and visited some family after MSI.
Indeed. Well, Goong playing Kassadin. Let's talk about this. This is the first time new Kassadin has been played in Korea.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it was played in the qualifiers, but in Champions, I should say.
Right.
While we did see some regions, Europe and China most notably, playing that new Kassadin. Particularly China, very heavy emphasis on that champion. The first time actually it was played by a Korean pro was at MSI when Faker picked it in Game 4 of the finals and won with it. So it's a champion that I think was overlooked in this region, generally speaking, and is strong in a lot of matchups, but I think a lot of the Korean teams were reluctant to play him because he is very, very vulnerable to fast pushing.
Right.
And if you can abuse that wave clear, you're going to be doing really well. So it looks like Anarchy will be actually calling the lane swap right here. So they're going to get the lane they want. NaJin tried for a little bit of a delayed recall, but it is going to be found out.
Yep. So Pure and OQ are going to have to deal with this Lucian Janna lane. And I feel like this is what OQ wants, though. They knew that the lane swap was going to be called. OQ is like, I can do this.
I think they don't want it because basically if they get their tower chipped down in the 2v2, and that's going to allow Songyun and Snowflower to move around the map and continue to abuse the low wave clear. So delaying the game with an early freeze I think would have been beneficial for them. And then trying to make sure that the tower wasn't taken on the opposite side of the map. So Pure will be going to heal first as suspected.
Yeah.
And this is going to be pretty difficult, actually, for NaJin. This is where Anarchy wants to be, and this is a good test of where this team is in terms of strategy and map play, because against this composition, they really should realize that fast towers are their key to victory.
So you need to understand, Monty, is that OQ doesn't play by your rules. OQ plays by OQ's rules, man. If he says he can go up against a Lucian Janna lane with Vayne, he can do it. Oh, Goong taking a lot of damage from Mickey early on, but they'll just go ahead and trade. Oh, look at this. Watch comes in. Is this going to be first blood already? Mickey getting low. It will be first blood taken by NaJin, going to Watch after that flash engage from the Gragas.
Yeah, nice player there, of course. Goong dropping his Ignite as well.
Yep.
One thing that was also very interesting in the qualifiers was the number of level 2 ganks from the junglers. This is something that we really haven't seen too much of in Korea, but it seemed like every team in the qualifiers was pulling out some of these kind of level 2 cheese ganks recently. And it's successful, and it'll work again here.
Yep. Pure still healing up OQ, trying to sustain this lane as long as they can, but you can see OQ already getting poked a bit and getting pushed back under turret, which is, again, what we expected. But hey, OQ can handle it. He's OQ. Can handle anything.
Just needs
He
a
could
handle.
play this 1v5 if he wanted.
Wow, Ixu taking a large amount of damage from Duke here.
Wow, it's got to be tough to lane against a player like Duke.
Yeah, that's rough. I mean, everyone pretty much has had trouble laning against Duke in this league this year.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a nice little teleport advantage for NaJin for a short time anyway.
Yeah, Duke actually did start off in the jungle right there, so got a little bit of an XP advantage. And now he's going to walk his way back to lane, trying for a second Doran's ring, so really just going for that early game lane presence.
Yeah, he's going to be able to really beat up on Gnar for quite a while, until maybe that Hex Drinker comes around. Let's see what he decides to build. Meanwhile, you know, to OQ's credit, he has been able to keep up in CS, and they push the lane back a little bit. So we'll see. You know, maybe Songyun and Snowflower, of course, you got to imagine the pressure is certainly on a bit more than it was in the qualifiers here. They're finally in the booth. They're finally playing in the main tournament. And to go up against OQ and Pure is a bit intimidating to start things off with, I'd imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see Watch right here getting some deep wards in onto that side as his duo lane pushes forward. So getting the Scuttler and the ward in at the right place at the right time. Making sure these two players are nice and safe. Songyun not really pushing this lane particularly aggressively.
He looks
trying to freeze it right now. Yeah, he does. I mean, really what you want to do is just hard push this lane and have Rek'Sai stay on the top side of the map and try and push in the Kassadin as well with and just try and deal as much damage to these towers as you can. Get them down, get that gold advantage so you can snowball out from there, maybe even send LeBlanc top for a gank under these circumstances, especially when Mickey can just push up to the wave like that.
Oh, some action down in bot lane now, Duke. Trying to trap Ixu, bit Ixu on the run with that Mega Gnar. But you're right, I mean, when we look at that duo lane up in top, it really does look, Songyun looks like an ADC who's afraid.
Yeah.
He could be putting more pressure on, but he's just not. He's just playing back, playing a bit overly safe. Watch, though, coming around from behind. It looks like they may catch Ixu here. Remember, no Mega Gnar right now. Watch, he's just letting Duke get the solo kill, maybe. He's like, Duke's like, I got it. Oh, no, Watch is going to come in and dive for this one, it looks like, after the wave pushes up. Ixu's not going anywhere.
No, he's not. This wave going down very quickly as well. Duke doing his best to clear it out with the Arcane Smash.
He's dead. He just doesn't know it yet. Yeah. Here comes Watch.
Oh, jeez.
And Ixu in a lot of trouble now. He's trying to hop away. Duke pops that ultimate. There's a flash from Ixu as well, too. They're going to chase him. Duke should be in range. Oh, he's not, though. There's a slow. Ixu actually got away.
Yeah,
wow.
hop flash will allow him to escape.
Well, Duke had to flash as well, too. Meanwhile, action up in the top lane. OQ and Snowflower going at it. Pure, though, able to sustain, and Snowflower has to back away. That Ignite was used by Pure. So,
yeah, Lyra is repeatedly showing on wards in the bottom side of the river. So what's enabling these plays and NaJin to play so aggressively during this time period is you see those two wards in the river. Lyra has like circled back on top of those wards 2 or 3 times in a row right now, and so that's causing quite. He's back again.
Man, here we go. Oh, Goom takes out Mickey 1v1. Meanwhile, down in the bot lane, Duke trying to get a 1v1 kill of his own. Watch may need the help. Nope. No problem. Duke's got that one. And the thing is, Ixu engaged on that. That was his fight that he chose to take when he only has a Doran's Blade, and Duke has a ton of items.
Duke just came back into lane with a teleport with a Sapphire Crystal, a Ruby Crystal, as well as having the second Doran's item.
Well,
I have no idea why you would try to take that fight.
I looked at the items at the start of that fight, and I'm like, what is he doing? I guess he's dying. That's the answer. That's the answer, Ixu.
Well,
you are dead.
This is about what I expected.
Yeah, so far. Watch coming in behind Lyra here. Duke getting a little bit low. There's a smite to slow him down a bit. Ixu teleporting down, but I don't think Lyra's going to be able to get anything out of this. Yep, Duke backing away. So teleport used again by Ixu.
There has been really good jungle pathing by Watch to his credit, but Lyra here is not respecting where the vision could be, and they try and make a responding play with that teleport right there, but Watch already has the crab set up, has the vision in order to walk down and get a counter gank that saves his ally. So OQ here too, keeping up in CS, no real threats.
Yeah, 1 level behind at the moment, but that'll probably change pretty quick.
Yeah, they'll just play back, wait for this wave to hit the tower, and just been a farm lane up in the top side, and without any threat on OQ, without any pressure on him, it's very easy for Alistar just to spam his heal and keep it topped up. Goong going to go ahead, get that blue buff as he works towards his Rod of Ages. Mickey finally wants to roam top. He's had some opportunities to do this previously.
Oh.
Now, they probably thought he was actually at his blue buff right there, so there was a good potential chance for a dive. But instead, he's going to circle back and get his blue anyway after dropping that ward. But that's where they need to look right now, is how can they dive that top lane with Lyra and Mickey using the Rek'Sai and the LeBlanc to pick up some kills. But they need to know where Watch is first before they can do that safely.
Yeah, and Watch has been doing a pretty good job of maneuvering around the map without being seen too much. And Lyra, though, they're getting some wards down in top here.
Yeah,
they really want to make something happen.
Yeah, they really, this is a good system of wards they have set up right here. Getting that crab, as well as some pink ward control over the river, means that they may be able to do something as long as this LeBlanc is able to push up this mid wave, which is getting harder, of course. Goong, with that Rift Walk now, has one more way to clear the wave.
Well, they see Watch coming in through Tri-Brush, and that's going to cause Songyun and Snowflower to back off. That warding helping out right there, but Pure lurking in the river brush. And Watch is doing a good job, too, of kind of knowing where the pressure is sort of starting to trend to and staying more on the top side of the map.
Yes, he is.
Walking through a lot of wards. Oh, damage onto Goong. Goong comes back down. He wants this 1v1. Going after the correct one as well. Goong getting low. Here comes Watch. Can't save his opponent, but he can get some revenge. Mickey, though, manages to get that kill.
Yeah, a little bit of a turnaround right there. Pretty dangerous. I think he thought Watch was going to be there a little bit sooner than he was. Looked like a bit of a communication error from NaJin, but Mickey does pick up that solo kill. Pretty impressive considering how far down he was, but double buffs will go over to Watch in the end.
So it's now a jungle mid lane. And just a battle to push the lanes. Why not? Oh, Lyra.
That was actually really clever.
Yeah.
So Watch actually oh, is he going to kill him?
If he would have hit in the middle of that barrel, I think he would have.
Wow. Okay, so right there, what happened was Watch actually used his smite on the wave to trick Lyra into thinking that that body slam couldn't hit him, and then nearly finished off the kill right there. So that was actually a pretty cute little play by Watch, making it look like he was just going to be farming, and then using that AoE smite on the minions to open up the clear path for the body slam. Very nicely done.
Tricky move by Watch. Oh, Lyra finds Duke down in bot. Watch is taking Dragon for now, though. He's going to come in with both buffs. Looks like Duke will be able to back away, though.
Couldn't realistically pull that one off right there, especially with the Void Rush coming in. He had the read on that situation, so they do just have to back off, not willing to commit when there's a very bursty LeBlanc in the mid lane, and Goong still working on some of these scaling items. You know, it's great for NaJin that Goong has been going even in CS, that he did pick up a kill and a couple of assists, but...
Oh, here we go. Goong going after Mickey. Oh, but the tether, not quite enough. Goong gets another solo kill in mid lane.
Yeah, with the Ignite as well. And, you know, we know that Goong is a very interesting player because in the right metas, he looks like an absolute god. If we think about when Goong has been on top, it's when he can play champions like Kassadin and Ahri and Zed and LeBlanc. And with those, he just never has gotten a real good feel for some of the more traditional casters out of the mid lane.
Yeah.
But when he can play these champions, he pretty much always impresses. So,
well, so far so good. Watch trying to take out this dragon. Now this is, again, 5.9, so the dragon is a little bit more difficult to take. Does a little bit more damage. We'll see if Watch can do it. I'd imagine he can. Yep, there we go. So first dragon of the game goes to NJE mFire. And they're going to get the first turret down in bot lane pretty soon, too. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, Duke has been absolutely bullying that lane ever since he got the solo kill down there. Just repeatedly pushing the wave into the turret. No pressure coming in, and Watch making sure that he has those deep wards behind the dragon to keep on working with.
About 20 CS up now for Duke as well. And, OQ in this 2v2 lane, they haven't, gotten any kills, but they have been able to keep things very, very even. And both ADCs have nearly 4,000 gold to spend.
It's been a ridiculous farm lane right here. No one actually breaking this lane open yet.
Wow.
A very small amount of aggression, but that's exactly what NaJin want right here. They don't want an aggressive lane. The fact that they've been able to go even against the John Lucian lane with Vayne and a melee support is pretty nice for them. And so they're getting the kind of laning experience that they want.
And both ADCs are going to go back with over 4,000 gold in their pockets now.
Oh, there's a Blade of the Ruin King for you right off the bat.
Yep, and then some. Oh, Goong's still doing very well in the mid lane. He's finished his Rod of Ages at this point.
And Duke actually opting for the Righteous Glory first, so they're really looking to accelerate the pace of the game. It's pretty rare that a Korean top laner on a Maokai will go for that Glory first, generally speaking. They've been trending more towards Catalyst into Cowl and Glacial Shroud to kind of round out some tank stats during the team fight, but they want to go for picks here, and it makes a lot of sense. I mean, NaJin with this composition, even though they have low wave clear, just hasn't been abused so far by Anarchy, and at this point, if it's not trending that direction, it's probably never going to get there. And NaJin will have a very powerful 1-3-1 split push with this composition, casted in vain, going into the side lanes, and here we go. No,
here we don't go.
I was excited.
Here we go, 3 people walking in a lane. He's going to get a little bit of time by himself in the bot lane, which is nice for him, but Duke will be back in a moment to make his life miserable. We may have NaJin moving a little bit farther up, putting on a bit of jungle pressure and some pressure on top lane, but they do spot them going through the ward. Mickey knows.
Yeah, I'm not going to see them, but just suspect that they could be up on the top side of the map, a suspicion which will be confirmed when Goong walks in through the top side of the river.
Yes, indeed. And Mickey just can't trade with Goong right now, it looks like. Every time he goes in, he takes a ton of damage.
Well, Goong's Rod is starting to stack right here, too. It's hard to imagine how this early game could have gone better for NaJin under these circumstances. They got everything they want. They sort of bypassed Kassadin's weak phase by piling on some kills. He also has a CS advantage. Yeah. And then OQ and Pure just happily farming in this top lane. A couple solo kills.
Here comes Watch. Could be coming in fairly soon. He's got items. None of these other guys do. There's a body slam. There's a nice knockback with the ultimate. Songyun in a lot of trouble. Look at their... Knock him around like a ping pong ball. He's going to go into the turret. Goodbye.
Watch.
Another kill for Watch. That's what happens when you don't have any items. Oh, Mickey decides to go in onto Goong, doing a lot of damage here. But Goong should be okay.
Yeah, decided not to burn Ignite right there, so just a standard trade.
Maybe time to go back and buy.
He is pretty darn far behind.
Yeah,
so there is
Blade.
OQ with the Blade of the Ruin King right off the bat, and there's the Infinity Edge. QSS actually coming in as well. That is
and boots and a Triforce immediately for Songyun. And a Vamp Scepter. This is one of the most ridiculous farming lanes I've ever seen. Man, it's not ARAM, but
I'm surprised OQ went for the QSS this early. Now, he is up against a LeBlanc and a Gnar, so there is a danger of that hard CC coming in. And that is a pretty interesting early buy right there for our Vayne player. See if it works out for him. Doesn't usually buy that when you have a pretty substantial lead.
Just not wanting to get caught by that LeBlanc, I suppose.
Yeah, possible, but this LeBlanc is also 1-4.
Yeah. I don't know.
OQ's here.
Sorry. Yep.
But that was a pretty great gank actually by NaJin too. Watch just hitting the flash body slam directly into his ultimate. Very smooth mechanics on this Gragas from Watch.
What is a bit ridiculous is that Watch actually killed a ward in try and then just walked into River. And Anarchy didn't give that any sort of respect at all. They're just like, he probably walked away. It's like, no, man. Oh, there we go. Pure coming in onto Ixu, knocking everyone into the turret with that ultimate. Looks like he'll be able to get away. But that turret is going to be going down in NaJin's favor very soon. Meanwhile, up in top lane, Snowfire and Songyun pushing hard. Ixu taking a lot of damage here. Nice ultimate from Watch. That's going to be another kill for NaJin. OQ picks up his first of the game. And Duke just trying to sustain up in top lane. NaJin going to take their first tier 2. And this game certainly is accelerating.
45 seconds still dragging, so NaJin will be pulling back and trying to set up the vision, and well, at least maintain the vision, I should say. It is already quite well set up due to their bottom lane push.
Yeah.
We do see Snowflower and Mickey hanging around in that mid lane.
Watch has just looked so good so far this game. Just really good decision making, really good mechanics. It's very unwatch-like of him, but he's had some time off.
Yeah, it's true. His mechanics on the Scroggas have been really, really good so far. This gank setup pretty interesting as well. OQ bringing that QSS in the last little scuffle, and Duke starting to put down some damage onto the top lane tower here. He does have the teleport up and waiting.
He's in the 1v1 against Ixu again, too, so you have to imagine that this tower is not long for the world. Ixu, though, actually getting a lot of damage on the Duke. Duke going back in, though. He's not afraid. Maybe he's a little bit afraid.
Yeah, he should be a little bit afraid. I mean, Glory not the best item on Maokai if you want to go into these 1v1s. It's great if you want to teleport and make a pick on your opponent. He's going back now, may go ahead and pick up some home guards as well.
Oh man, they're going to kill this dragon so fast already with this Blade of the Ruined King on OQ.
So they're going to go ahead and get the cowl, so
easy.
No one actually going to contest it right there. OQ.
Well, Snowflower tried to contest it. Come on, man. We've seen dragons get stolen by Whirlwind before. Can't say it won't happen. Oh, Watch actually getting himself in a little bit of trouble here. Mickey gets pushed away, though, by Fury. Here comes a culling, and that's a kill for Mickey. NaJin, a little bit of an error there.
Not sure why Watch would go over the wall like that. He didn't have a flash up to get out of that situation, and is pretty easily bursted down by Mickey, taking advantage of that situation.
They may lose a turret for this, too. OQ coming in from behind, but it's still going to be a 4v5, rather. Oh, wow, they're going to go deep. There's the turret. OQ still not in the fight. There's a stun on the Duke. NaJin backing away. And OQ just says, all right, I am not needed here.
And that's the problem with this composition from NaJin, is that Watch is a huge part of their wave clear, actually, with his barrels. And you can see the issue is that when they get into a situation where if one of them dies and Anarchy is able to group like that, it's pretty easy for them just to shove everybody out, poke them out, and push down the tower. So just like that, we're still pretty even in gold right now. NaJin has to be able to set up some sort of split push threat. And because OQ actually went for the QSS first, instead of going for the static shiv, he's not going to be able to push quite as quickly.
The static shiv would have been a little bit better. But again, OQ does what OQ wants. Don't question OQ. Oh, they're going to find Lyra. They're going to find Snowflower. Songyun backing away as well. He's got that red buff. There's a flash. There's a barrel, but Songyun flashes away from it. Wow, Lyra coming back down, getting knocked up by the pulverized Duke, loading on the damage. That was not a place you want to ult to, Rek'Sai. Oh, but here comes the rest of the team for Anarchy. Duke getting the back lines. That's a kill now for Gnar and NaJin on the disengage. They gotta be careful with Mickey coming over the wall now. A lot of damage onto Pure Watch and OQ. OQ tumbling away. He needs to carry this fight now. Duke being that front line, but NaJin still needs to back away. OQ can't do enough at the moment, and NaJin losing that team fight. There's the culling, and will it take out Duke? It's going to be close. Mickey goes in to try to finish him off. They can't quite do it.
Nice knockback condemned by OQ right there, but Goog gets tangled up in an unfortunate situation. Very awkward fight in the brush right there, and since Anarchy had a ward in the crud brush, there really wasn't much that OQ could do to tumble around and make a play. And since Songyun's still in the lane, and he's got that Trinity Force as well, he's able to kill these turrets very quickly with the Sheen procs. Let's take a look at this one again. So this was initiated actually by NaJin, of course, but Watch has no ultimate by the time it's back up. Great Janna ult into an awesome Gnar ult right there. So full Gnar combo. Very well played team fight coming from Anarchy. Sunflower really doing a good job of utilizing the crowd control in conjunction with the teleporting Gnar.
NaJin kind of handed them that fight on the silver platter when they grouped up in front of the Janna and the Gnar right by the crud camp.
That's true too.
Yeah. So it's a bit of an NaJin moment.
So OQ is going to be going Ghost Blade as his second item. So this is a build that kills turrets really quickly and is great for dueling, but lacks a little bit in that wave clear department.
You know, I think what happened is that, Duke getting caught a bit by Ixu, backing away. There's Lyra. The rest of the team is right there. Duke behind enemy lines, and he may pay for it. There's a knockup, great layering of the CC, and he's going to go down. Another kill for Mickey. Mid turret gets a bit low.
So they knew that Duke, or that Anarchy was pushing in on the bottom side of the map, and had likely warded up their side of the jungle, given that they had just won the team fight in that region. So pretty darn dangerous for Duke to go down there at the given time. And Mickey's done a good job of recovering from a poor early game this time around. And
going from 0-4 to 4-4.
Anarchy will take out the tier 1, trading it for a tier 1 of their own.
Yep.
They do have the pushing advantage, though, and since they can clear out these waves faster, we are going to see Pure go ahead and recall. They need him for the defense right now. They can't be having...
Oh boy, there's the duel. Mickey gets the stun on a Goong, but he's going to have to back away. Oh, meanwhile, some action down in bot lane. Looks like the bot turret's going to go down. So turret lead now goes to Anarchy.
Yeah, NaJin playing this out really poorly. They need to split push with Vayne alone. Vayne has a nice lead here. Can 1v1 anyone on the enemy team at the current time, especially with that QSS. And so they have to be able to just split push with her. And having Pure sit around next to Vayne instead of defending these turrets just cost them pretty badly in that trade, losing 2 for 1.
Nope, Pure's going to find Lyra, but Lyra will be able to get out of the wall fairly easily. Now, Songyun picked up a recurve bow, and then he sold it.
I don't know what he was doing. He built Cutlass and then recurve bow, and now the recurve bow is gone.
That's what I was wondering about. Yeah, thought about going Runins maybe, who knows.
It's possible that I just forgot that they changed the recipe to Blade of the Ruined King.
Oh, did they? Yeah, I think they did actually, now that I think about it. Could be right. Anyway. 13 seconds till Dragon. NaJin has 2 of them so far. All 2 of them. But they need to get a little bit more position in this mid lane here. Anarchy pushing really hard. And can NaJin deal with this? They have to wait a long time for Watch to get there. Oh man, this is not good.
Yeah, they changed the recipe to recurve bow. That's what I thought. I'm remembering now. So.
I just thought he was going to build Wit's End.
Anarchy has the setup right now around the Dragon Pit, and they have that nice mid lane pressure as well, considering that they still have their tier 1 up and functioning in that mid lane. So Anarchy actually slowly turning this around thanks to some mistakes from NaJin and another interesting team composition that they're utilizing. And
I still feel like it's NaJin's game to lose at this point. You know, they still do have those first 2 dragons. If they can get this one.
They also have a pretty solid scaling advantage.
Yeah, exactly.
Too,
so if they can tighten things up, they should still be able to win this one. But already some questions about NaJin early on. Anarchy looks like they really want to fight this one. Ixu's about to go Mega Gnar. There's the all pop for Duke as well. Dragon getting very low. It will go down in favor of NaJin. Culling used by Songyun. NaJin disengaging right now. Will they turn on this? OQ and Goong looking for some opportunities. But I think NaJin's going to be satisfied with just taking that dragon.
Yeah, they will. Just a little bit of poke damage too. Anarchy not really walking back as a team right there. Lyra takes a bit more damage than he should upon parting.
Well,
now they are going to try and set up in this mid lane. They know they have a big wave developing in top as well. And NaJin still not with a lot of options to turn on wave clear. They have to fight this.
Yep, looks like they do, and that's a very narrow corridor to be in. Watch comes in. There's a nice big pulverize from Pure. Meanwhile, OQ gets smoked. He backs away. There's a kill for Mickey already. You're Pure in the middle of everything. Duke a little bit outside the fight, trying to zone. Songyu relatively untouched so far, and OQ getting focused out, gets over the wall. Very, very low. Can he survive? Oh, Songyun flashes for the kill, and now they turn on to Pure another one, and Anarchy living up to their name and taking NaJin apart here. Duke getting low. They're going to kill him under turret, because why not? Oh, the revenge of Ixu. Goong looking very lonely there as his mid lane tier 2 goes down. They're going to find him with Scrying Orb. He needs to be careful here.
Yeah, really uncoordinated engage there. Duke coming in with the teleport, but not really making much of that flank right there. And so they don't have their primary tank creating zones. Pure did hit a nice knockup, but after that, everyone was just able to easily pile on top of OQ. Check this out right now. You can see Watch, OQ, and Goong right there. Pure is there, but look at this, how late this teleport is. It just completes right now. And this fight at this stage is pretty much already over. Goong is chunked out. OQ gets exhausted, burns his QSS, flashes over the wall, gets a couple more autos right here, but all of the damage already onto the carries. So real big lack of coordination from NaJin during that fight. And
well, this Vayne is not working out for NaJin. And Ixu getting sort of one of those feel-good moments, you know? It's like, ha, there.
I mean, it was a good response. Anarchy called the right target, all in on the flank.
Yep.
But effectively, that fight was a 5v4 for Anarchy, and now they're going to take a pretty substantial gold lead. Definitely not over for NaJin yet. Kassadin getting scarier by the minute, but it's going to be much more of an uphill battle than it would have been otherwise.
Yeah, it is about that scaling.
I mean, it's not like Anarchy scales poorly either, so gold lead still means a little bit right here, but NaJin, they have to play those team fights a little bit differently. They want those isolated battles. Watch has to, I always love the Vayne Gragas combo because you set up for the Vayne by isolating a target with your ultimate,
right,
and then you just pick them off and roll up the fight one by one by one. You turn the fight into a bunch of little skirmishes, which is very advantageous to Kassadin and to Vayne.
I think what happened was OQ just saw Freak play Vayne at MSI, and he was just inspired. He's like, I can do that too. So far, though, I think Freak's Vayne was better. Uh-oh.
The bait, throw a barrel into the brush.
So Anarchy was watching Fnatic.
There we go.
There we go, all right.
Nice patience right there. They may be rewarded with the mid lane turret. Anarchy sacrifice control over mid in order to set up that gank. And yeah, that will be the tower going down eventually.
Or will it? Yeah, NaJin getting pushed back. Pure getting bursted down. He's going to get taken out. A kill for Ixu. The turret lives with basically no health.
Also, Pure really activating his ult very late in that skirmish. Waited till he had only a couple hundred HP left before even triggering that Unbreakable Will. So
Anarchy can continue pressuring Baron really hard now.
Man, if Anarchy wins this first game, it will be quite the upset.
It'll be Anarchy. All right, well, Mickey trying to keep him in the pit, and here we go. Lyra over the wall. What an engage from Anarchy. Watch trying to make something happen. Here comes Songin from the side again. OQ gets that skirmish, gets the 1v1 he was looking for in the back lines, and now this Vayne is starting to go off. Snowflower with the ult. He's going to get popped, though, by OQ. Goong picks up that kill. OQ getting very low. Songyun, will he live? Oh, a double kill for Goong, and NaJin manages to turn it around, but they got that fight we were talking about. A double kill, though, for Mickey at the very end, but Duke still manages to survive it all. But they sort of got that fight they were looking for. They got the sort of fracturing of the Anarchy team, and OQ is able to get some of those skirmishes.
Well, that's the power of the Vayne in that situation, right? And Lyra's still a little bit on the run right here. Pure finally making it back down to the pit. But reminder, that was NaJin in a 4v5 situation, still coming out on top.
Right.
Lyra did have a good knock-up, but Watch finally broke the team apart into that skirmish like you're talking about they were looking for. So
like
great multi-man knockup, but look at OQ right here, able to freely tumble from the back, gets the stun down onto Ixu, and Goong draws a lot of pressure on the top side and then immediately Zhonya. So actually a lot of time wasted right there by Lyra in that pursuit. There's a condemn, doesn't quite hit the stun onto Songyun, and as we see right here, Goong coming in. Mickey lives with virtually no health and actually manages to distort for the kill.
7-5-5. He has really turned this LeBlanc game around.
He is a solid assassin player, and it's impressive that he's been able to make this comeback, but a lot of this comeback has been enabled by NaJin mistakes. 2 seconds until Dragon.
Yep. And so, NaJin looking to take their 4th Dragon. They've got all of them so far. But they're a bit behind in gold. They need to make sure they get this one. I mean, if Anarchy gets this Dragon, gets that percentage increase in power, Ixu comes in really far away from Meganar, though, and that's Duke's cue to engage. They jump onto Mickey, they catch him. Snowflower tries to knock people away, doesn't quite do it, though. They get the kill on the Mickey, the kill on the Snowflower. There goes Songyun now, and NaJin finally starting to get these fights, get that 4th Dragon. Lyra just pieces out with the ultimate. He's like, see ya. And Ixu probably just gonna hang out in the jungle for NaJin. And this may lead to a Baron as well.
Got
or
your
do you think
wolves.
you gotta take the mid turret?
Worth.
You got wolves?
No, you're finally going to take this mid turret. Oh, actually, they should go for the Baron immediately.
I mean, mid turret's still gonna be low when
they're gonna kill. They're gonna kill this Baron so
Yeah.
fast too with the Vayne, the Blade of the Ruin King. That why not just go for this objective right now?
Yeah. OQ's got that last whisper as well too, so he's doing tons of damage to people. And that Baron clearly is going down fast.
Plenty of time as we do see Songyun just reviving now.
Yep.
So easy pickup, NaJin making the right call. And now they'll just be able to power through. Gold lead will swing significantly in their direction. See if they decide to start split pushing here or not. I would love to see some more of that this game. Double Righteous Glory now down. Pure picking one up as well. That was a great engage from NaJin, though. Finally picking out that right target, even getting that LeBlanc right at the beginning of the fight and continuing to follow up to make sure that Mickey couldn't burst anybody down.
And NaJin finally catching up in gold, too. Still half the turrets that Anarchy has. Make that a little over half.
Those are going to go down pretty quickly, I think.
Yeah, with Baron and 4 dragons already, NaJin brings a lot of pressure here onto these turrets. Yeah, very, very fast. Wow, look at that damage. And the Bulldozer continues to push down mid lane. A little bit of damage. Mickey comes over the wall, backs away. Ixu at about 2/3 health right now. The culling used, but blocked mostly by Duke. That turret took a lot of damage. Mickey is having a hard time finding targets to burst down at this point. If he can't get onto OQ, what does he really do?
Yeah, not a whole lot, I think, in this situation, which is why Sivir would have been an even better pick here.
Yep.
Why everybody would have had a spell shield of some sort or just been insanely tanky.
Urgot, I suppose, would have been insanely tanky. NaJin, there's a knock-up onto Duke. They're going to go ahead and take this turret, jumping onto Ixu here. And that inhibitor's under threat now as well. Looks like NaJin just can sort of have their way with the base at this point. Do whatever they want to do. They take the inhibitor, they'll be able to casually stroll away.
And it makes you wonder, too, because Anarchy did recover so well in this game, and NaJin wasn't playing the mid-game particularly well. If Anarchy had played a little bit less scared when they had that lane matchup that they wanted, would they have been able to snowball this into a win if they had gotten that earlier lead? As see NaJin pretty convincingly just marching through turrets at this point, taking down all 3 in the mid lane in one pass.
Well, now it's time for the top lane. Who needs to split push when you can just get Baron and just group as 5, I guess. There we go. All right, shield onto the turret. Prevents a little bit of damage anyway.
Siege, pretty bad though.
Yeah.
For NaJin. I mean, they have 4 melee champions in Vayne. This is not the dream composition in terms of taking out towers.
Well, Vayne and Siege only go in the same sentence when you're saying Vayne is really bad at sieging.
Not as bad as Twitch. At least you have Tumble, so you can take some risks in terms of walking up to a turret to auto it.
It's true. Oh, here we go. The engage happens. They catch Mickey a little bit. Snowflower uses ult very early, too. Lyra in the middle of everything. Ixu backing away. A kill for Songyu. They managed to take down OQ. NaJin fighting for their lives. Now they've lost the majority of their damage. Goong doing what he can, but he's low now as well, too. And it looks like Anarchy pushing this back. There goes Pure. Another kill for Ixu. And they're trying to check out if they can get a kill on Goong. They can't quite do it, though. Meanwhile, minions in the base. They're going to lose an inhibitor turret, or Nexus turret, rather, it looks like.
A lot of minions on the top turret as well. Looks like they won't quite lose it, but they're going to lose a lot of minions, and still that pressure ramping up. Duke will save his bottom inhibitor turret from that rather large wave, but it was a well-timed dive there by NaJin. They knew they had to go ahead and force the issue on this due to their rather poor siege, and they have the 2 Righteous Glories for the dives anyway. They had the pressure coming in onto the Nexus, too, with the super minions. So even though Anarchy won that fight, they're really not going to be able to do much of anything with that advantage. I'm not sure how OQ actually managed to die during that engagement.
OQ moment.
It was an OQ moment.
OQ. Because I believe Mickey had already gone in and hadn't hit it.
So OQ building the new Black Cleaver, actually.
Or Trinity Force.
No, it's Black Cleaver. Sorry to burst your bubble, Doa, but it's definitely Black Cleaver.
But the Champion Spotlight said you go Trinity Force, and somehow you end up at Atma's Impaler. So I'm going by the guide, the official guide.
You know what's funny, Doa? I don't even know if Atma's Impaler is still in the game or not.
I don't think it is.
I haven't seen it in so long. I don't even remember if they removed it.
Yeah, well, you could also build Madrid's Blood Razor, apparently, as well. That
I know they
can't
removed that
do
one.
that anymore. Yeah, that's not available. Yep. Well, could be Dragon number 5 for NaJin, and that could be the little edge they need to close this one out, despite it being very close in gold and turrets so far. NaJin has managed to maintain that dragon control, and that may end up being sort of the key to their success. Maybe. Oh, catching here might help too.
Dragon number 5. This is something that Anarchy absolutely has to contest. NaJin doesn't have a pink ward in the pit though. Pure just used his lens on the outside, so they're going to be unable to clear these wards inside the pit itself.
Oh, that's Meganar as well too. NaJin is going to at least need to have to wait that one out.
Yeah, they're fine waiting it out though. Duke is able just to screen from the front lines, and Anarchy has to take the Dragon while the Meganar is up effectively.
Dragon getting low, Anarchy is going for it. The enemy attack. Nice ult from Ixu. Does it sustain enough? Snowflower pushes everyone back. It's very low. Dragon getting ignored right now. Songyun doing some damage. There's a kill for Goong, and NaJin coming in. Can OQ do the damage? Ixu trying to stop him. A double kill though for Goong. He's able to carry right now. Songyun though picks up the kill onto watch. Dragon still alive, and Anarchy may be able to grab it. Look at Mickey taking out OQ. This Dragon could certainly be going Anarchy's way yet. Oh, I don't know. Nobody's way at this point. Goong finds Mickey. Mickey turns for the damage. There's the Zonias. There's the Zonias for Goong. Oh, Goong manages to pick up the kill in the end. So a near ace for NaJin, but not able to take that 5th Dragon just yet. Looks like
they're going to
going
take it right now. Though,
yeah.
So. Mickey dead. Even Pure and Goong will be able to slowly whittle away at this Dragon. Meanwhile, nobody in the top side yet to take out this rather large wave that's developing. It actually is going to kill the turret, it would appear, because we don't see Duke making movements to return to base.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
The minions might
be able to save the cannon turret actually lost some time there spinning around the circle. So had that cannon turret actually not been path blocked by the minions, it may have been able to take that one out.
Oh, remake.
Path blocking?
Yep. Clearly bug, remake.
All right, well, they saved their inhibitor, but we're about to deal with a 5th Dragon Baroned up NaJin. Let's take a look at this fight again. So Gnarled has to be used early. Snowflower actually resets the Dragon a little bit right there by pushing everybody away from it as his team is backing off. And then OQ finds an angle onto Ixu right here. Uses that blade to slow him down just a little bit and gets, it's actually a blind W over the wall that kills him. Nice job from Mickey. Suspected that he could be there and got the distortion right. Meanwhile, watch Goong. He's just waiting for Mickey to go back to his previous W before walking up to him. There's the Q into the Zonias to eliminate most of that damage. And then Mickey tries to get the second distortion down, but Goong smacks him on the dash in midair with his own Q.
Yep.
That'll be it.
Well, Baron went to NaJin as well, so 5 Dragons and a Baron.
I hear this is really easy to defend against.
I've heard it's extremely easy. The easiest thing. Now, 2 people on NaJin don't have the Dragon buff because they weren't alive when it was taken. But I don't think that's going to make a big difference. They don't really have waves pushing, though, in top or bottom.
NaJin's side wave control has been pretty bad this game overall.
Seriously. I guess they're just going to walk up and face tank it?
Well,
no.
They don't really have that luxury right now. Duke is actually going to have to go back in this situation just to make sure that this inhibitor turret doesn't die. They don't want a split push situation developing right here, so we'll be taking that out ever so slowly.
Bizarre.
Now the side wave starting to develop. First super minion will be taken care of by Songyun, so Anarchy doing a good job of defending in this game in spite of the rather overwhelming objective advantage possessed by NaJin.
Yep. And now NaJin has Pure there as well, too, to keep all the Baroned up minions healthy.
This really is a terrible draft from NaJin, though. I mean, Kazit and Vayne is not something that you want to deal with if you can't split push, and we just haven't seen the split push develop at all from NaJin over the course of this.
Yeah.
Mickey actually taking a lot of damage from Ignite.
All right. Well, culling used as well, too, not accomplishing a lot. Pushing back some of the minions, but they've got 2 of those cannon minions there with the Baron buff. Now down to 1. Now down to 0. Oh, 1. Oh, 0. And NaJin, again, just really awful siege. So they really need to win a team fight to take objectives.
They have to dive, pretty much. They have to dive and win a team fight. And they're just waiting right now, see if they get some decent poke damage. Goong is doing a little bit. There's the smite coming down from Watch, but Lyra will be holding the super minions at bay by his destroyed inhibitor in the mid lane.
Well, NaJin's been able to get a little bit of a gold lead, but it doesn't really matter as much at this point. Here we go. NaJin coming in on the turret now, and they can take it out very quickly. Ixu trying to defend it, no Mega Gnar. And there we go. Now NaJin coming in, finding that opportunity. Watch going to go on to Ixu for a moment. Lyra trying to make something happen here. There's the ultimate from Gragas, pushing people back as NaJin disengaging just a little bit. Well, Pure gets into the back lines. There goes the inhibitor, but they're going to lose their support for it. NaJin has to back off. Got the objective they came for, so that should be fine.
Team comp is just terrible. I mean, you get into a situation like this where you have a Baron and 5 dragons and you're just unable to push that advantage anywhere near hard enough, still maintaining a very slim gold lead.
Hey, so remember when you laughed at me about OQ buying the Trinity Force, maybe?
Bought the Trinity Force.
Well, who was right, Monty? Who was the better analyst there?
I don't think it's the ideal item, honestly, but he probably just had a lot of money and decided to go for the 6th-item Trinity Force. I mean, no doubt it's still a good item on Vayne.
I'm just good at predicting things. I'm not good at coming up with good ideas.
I guess we're going to wait for 5th Dragon number 2.
Guess so. Minute 20 until that happens. How about this near 100 CS lead for Songyun over OQ?
After everything was even right there, well, OQ has been grouping a lot more.
That is true, that is true. It's a pretty incredible amount of CS for Songyun.
Now, why you would be grouping on Vayne now, that is the real mystery. But
well, see, the first step is to have a laning phase where you get up to around 5,000 gold. And you just group up, you know? That's how it works. Don't buy wave clear. You've got your team for that.
Yeah, Gragas is there.
Yeah, you've got your junk boots for wave clear, obviously. Well, 40 seconds now until that 5th dragon. And NaJin just needs to not get poked out here. Because the thing is, too, is this would still be the first dragon for Anarchy. So picking that one up, 6% AD and AP at this point is a really big buff.
Yeah, Ixu tries to TP in right there, does get his Veil popped by a sapling. And he's getting close to that Mega Gnar, but it looks like he may hit it just a little bit earlier than he would like.
Definitely.
Yeah, there he goes.
Definitely too early.
Oh, that's so close, though.
Yeah. They may try to force something here. Lyra and Ixu advancing onto NaJin, 3 seconds till dragon. But yeah, they can just wait out this Mega Gnar so easily and then just go in. All right, dragon though. NaJin out of position if they can burst it down fast enough. But they get pushed back right away. Now Ixu with no Mega Gnar in a lot of trouble. There comes the culling. NaJin backing away, playing it casually. There's a knockup onto Pure. Mickey in the back line. Snowflower pushes everyone back. OQ untouched so far, and Duke just that big back line right now. And here comes OQ popping that Yomu's Ghost Blade. Goong helping him pick up a lot of kills, and now nobody is going to stop this Vayne at this point. Coming over the wall, there's a double Q though for Mickey. Double Q for OQ now. Songyun trying, but he just can't do it. That is an ace for NaJin. They're not even going to bother with this dragon. They can just go and win.
Yeah, just walk right into the base right now. Follow up on those super minions. Yep. OQ with the triple kill in the end as they finally are able to get a lot of damage down in that team fight before it can be sort of reset by Snowflower. Snowflower did what he could with that Monsoon, but unfortunately his team just taking too much damage already, and Goong and OQ chasing down the stragglers.
And there goes the Nexus. And so the first game, despite being a close one, is going to be taken by NaJin. GG.
Well, NaJin, I don't know about that. I think trying a little bit too hard to style right there. Anarchy, on the other hand, really doing a good job of making a comeback after a pretty poor laning phase where they allowed themselves to go more or less even though they had the lanes they were wanted. They didn't press that lack of wave clear advantage on NaJin, so a little bit of an awkward game from both sides. Neither team really playing their composition particularly well.
It's a win, but not necessarily one you really feel good about. Yeah. Like, well, we won.